Om, 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 Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Bole Shri Chinmaya Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Surya Narayana Bhagavan Ki Jai Hari Om. A very good evening to you all. So till last week we conducted some 5 talks on Sunday, same time, saying commit to win, win you will. Even as I was doing the talks and I'm talking about it to many people, I found that there was a big restriction when I said IAS aspirants because uh, these talks are not just for IAS aspirants, but for anybody who's studying. It can be from LKG till standard 12, or it can be in college, university. It can be people who are doing research. It can be people who are attending competitive exams, or it can be people who are doing business or they want to achieve success in some field of life. Whatever you may be learning, for everything we need a very calm mind. So from this week onwards, we have decided to change the format of the whole talks to address all students who are all in some aspect or the other of controlling the mind or calming the mind or quietening the mind. So today's topic is continuing from last week, which we said the right attitude for what we need to achieve. In the Dropbox, the content of the last week's talk is also there. So, in the right attitude, today's talk was supposed to be on the right attitude towards the different kinds of people that we meet in society, in our life, in our day to day life, in our personal family life, as well as in the life in society. We get to meet 4 kinds of people, or only 4 kinds of people we are actually meeting. So, who are those 4 kinds? Yeah, out of the four, we can divide it into two parts. Two types of people in our personal life, and 2 types of people in our public life. What are the 2 types of people in our personal life? You may say family and other than family. No. The 2 types of people are people who give me joy and people who give me sorrow. The people who make me happy by talking nicely to me, being my friend, being friendly to me, or helping me, whatever they are doing, but they make me happy. And there are people who devalue me and who will criticize me, who will hurt me, who will harm me, who will say or do things which are not conducive to me. So, only 2 kinds of people are there in our personal life. In public life, also, there are only 2 kinds of people. You may say there are doctors, lawyers, engineers, whatnot, but only 2 types of people are there. People who do good actions. When you do good actions, there is happiness generated in society. Good actions means integrating, harmonizing, doing things well, showing something good in society. For example, Swachha Bharat, no, cleaning the streets, keeping the country clean is a good action. It's a punya karma. And there are people who do wrong actions, prohibited actions, bad actions, actions that create disturbance in society, papa karma, like terrorism, corruption. So, what is our response towards these 4 kinds of people? This even though it has been quoted in the Bhagavad Gita, these qualities of Maitri, Karuna, and all that are there in the Bhagavad Gita. But the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it in the beginning part when talking about meditation, how to keep the mind calm, still, and quiet, and not let the mind be thrown into waves of thoughts because of the waves of the quality of the mind in terms of its content, like jealousy, anger, hatred. When these kinds of qualities are there in the mind, the waves are agitated waves are produced. We can have different kinds of qualities like calmness, quietness, composure, active, proactive participation. These kind of qualities will make waves of mind that are very calm and quiet. So when we see how to keep the mind quiet when interacting with the people around us, the answer is in the Yoga Sutra. To study well, to focus, we need a quiet mind. Whether it can be that day I saw a very beautiful WhatsApp. I think it must be twin brothers or maybe the elder brother teaching the younger brother. They're almost looking the same. The elder brother is teaching some song, how to sing some song, and the younger brother is meddling with some book, turning the pages, looking here and there. The elder brother, that boy who's teaching, is so focused. He's saying, no, 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 you should sing like this. And this boy is singing as he pleases. He's also singing well, but he's singing as he pleases and looking at this and that and laughing and smiling. And the elder brother is asking, what is all this laughing coming in between the Sangati when you're singing? This is two small boys. It is very delightful to watch that video. So even when we study or when we learn something, even when we learn to play cricket or football, or when we learn to play a musical instrument, or when we learn to play chess, or when we are learning some subject in class, whether it's an easy subject or a hard subject, or when we are studying to prepare for exams, quietness and calmness of mind is of utmost importance. So, this calmness can be disturbed when we interact with people in our society. What is the mind? How to quieten the mind? Before we know how to quieten the mind, we should know what is the mind. The mind is a flow of thoughts. It's like a river, sometimes, which has pollutants such as jealousy and certain negative qualities. The mind is made turbulent by likes and dislikes, good and bad actions. How the mind gets completely agitated? When does whenever there is a water body, and in that water body, you put a machine pump, and then you inject some sound, some vibration into that water body, the water body will start agitating. In the same way, these qualities like jealousy, anger, hatred, extreme desire are all like some machine pump into the mind, and it will start agitating the mind in a particular fashion. Raga is one way by which raga means attachment. I like this is one way to agitate the mind. Dvesha is another way. This is from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The actual sutra is Maitri Karuna Mudita Upeksha Sukha Dukkha Punya Apunyana. So before I come to that, we will just see the background to this sutra, how it is going to work to calm our mind. Raga means I like this. If I'm not able to get what I want to make me happy, only this object makes me happy. If I eat a chocolate cake, I will be happy. So if I don't get a chocolate cake, or if I see a chocolate cake and I am not able to eat it, my mind will be doing japa. Instead of doing japa of Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, it will start doing japa of, oh lovely chocolate cake, I am not able to eat the chocolate cake, I am not able to eat the chocolate cake. And if I do Om Namah Shivaya japa, my mind will become like Shiva. If I do japa of I did not get chocolate cake, my mind will always be in the state of I did not get chocolate cake. So this mind gets disturbed. When someone is happy and I am friendly towards them, attachment goes away, because I love something. Even when we are kids, no, there are when children play together, one child has got lots of toys, and another child, these children are so beautiful to watch. The other child, hey, come, shall we be friends? No, we will be friends. Why? Because that child has got a lot of toys, and when you become friends, you can also play with those toys. In the same way, the first sutra, Maitri, as I told you, people can create disturbance in our life in two ways only: in our personal life and public life. In our personal life, disturbance can happen in two ways. So, if I'm having raga in my mind, or if I'm having attachment in my mind will be disturbed. So, how to be free of that attachment? If I don't get something, or if somebody gets more than me, I will have jealousy and envy. So, how that jealousy and envy will disturb my mind? How can it go away? When I have the quality of Maitri. Maitri means friendliness towards people who give me joy, then when you are a friend to somebody and that friend becomes very rich, or that friend gets something more than you will not be jealous of that friend. You will not be envious of that friend. That's true friendship. No? So the jealousy and envy will just drop off. Even attachment to something, objects will drop off when I see a happy person, a person who gives me happiness in life. It can be my mother, it can be my father, sister, brother, friend, a colleague in the office, a student, a classmate, somebody in my business, or some customer, or it can be an agent, anybody it can be. This person gives me joy. So, to that person, instead of feeling jealous about that person, or instead of feeling envious about that person, that person is feeling very happy, you can give joy only when you are happy yourself. So, instead of feeling jealousy, I cultivate this quality of Maitri Bhava. Our Kanchi Paramacharya composed a very beautiful song, which was sung by Dr. M.S. Subbulakshmi, Bharat Ratna Dr. M.S. Subbulakshmi in the United Nations. Maitrim bhajata akhila hrijetrim. Maitrim bhajata. There is serve Maitri, serve friendliness, worship friendliness. Why you should worship friendliness? Akhila hrijetrim. It conquers the heart of the whole world. Everybody's heart, Maitri can conquer. So, to people who give me joy, I should show the expression or bhava or response of Maitri. So sometimes what happens is the mind is calm when jealousy, envy, and all those qualities go away. Even greed also will go away when we cultivate Maitri Bhava towards people who are all happy. If somebody gets a car and they're happy because of that, you join with them in joy for that happiness, then you will not have any envy in your heart. If there's envy in your heart or there's jealousy in your heart, then obviously the mind is going to get disturbed. So may I not have sorrow. This raga or attachment is born. Attachment to something is born because I have experienced joy sometime, and only if this object comes, I will be joyful. So that is called raga. If I cultivate Maitri Bhava, raga or attachment will go away, envy, jealousy will go away. Then we have also experienced sorrow in our life. So the quality of the mind, the thought in the mind that may I not have sorrow. That is a thought that will also create disturbance in the mind. I don't want to have sorrow, so I withdraw from anything sorrowful. So that sorrow is there in our mind. It can create anger and hatred towards the object of sorrow. So the next sutra, the next part of the sutra is Karuna. Maitri, Sukheshu Maitri. The people who give me Sukha, I will show friendliness, the attitude of friendliness. I will embrace them in a friendly attitude, that is for Maitri. But people who give me Dukkha or sorrow, somebody, if I have 1,000 rupees in my hand, then somebody asks me for 100 rupees. I want to give 100 rupees to somebody. I can give 100 rupees. Why? Because I have 1,000 rupees with me. So I am able to give 100 rupees. So in the same way, somebody has 1,000 rupees worth of dukkha or sorrow with them. And then they meet somebody else and they give 100 rupees worth of sorrow to the other person. If they don't have sorrow, they will not be having the capacity to give sorrow to others. So when somebody is giving me sorrow, when somebody is hurting me, or somebody is painful, somebody is flooding me with painful thoughts and painful words and painful actions, of course I should protect myself, that is one thing. But my response to that person should be karuna. Is there any other way by which, usually when somebody hurts us by thought, word, or deed, we do so many things like we scold that person, we shout at that person, we complain about that person, we backbite about that person, we say nasty things about that person, we counteract their anger with more anger and hatred, And whatever response we give towards that, what will happen is my mind will get agitated. If I get angry and I shout at somebody, it means I have lost control over my mind. My mind will be thrown into waves of agitation, and that waves of agitation can spoil my whole day. So, if somebody is giving me anger or hatred, they're giving me sorrow, the response I should show to that person is karuna or compassion. How do we show compassion to another person? Suppose there is somebody hurting me and that hurt is bothering me. I should just think about that person. 21 days to make a habit and break a habit. So, morning, as soon as I wake up, night, just before I go to sleep, for 7 times. This is a very beautiful prayer. It was given by a pranic healing master called Master Choa Kok Sui from the Philippines. He's pranic healing is a science, it's a healing science, but basically the tradition is from Buddhism. So, which says you just inhale deeply, you keep your hands in blessing position, you visualize that person who's hurting you. All these are very, very important if I have to be very quiet and I have to apply my mind to some useful action. So visualize that person who's giving, you take only one person, visualize that person in your mind. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you don't even need to go and brush your teeth. You can sit in your bed or your mat, wherever you sleep, get up, keep your palms in blessing position, inhale deeply, and as you exhale, visualize that person and say, Atma Namaste, I love you and respect you. May peace be with you. I thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You can say this 7 times, the same process, keeping your hands, visualizing that person, inhaling deeply, and with exhalation, say these same words. They've got a mantra shakti or mantra power to, you know, basically the thought vibes can go to the person. But whether it goes or not, your thought vibes will change to something that is very beneficial to you yourself. So, karuna, when somebody is giving you sorrow, the response is karuna because when we have anger and hatred, when we have hatred in our mind, it is going to send the mind into waves of agitation. So the mind cannot be quiet when there is hatred inside. Then another thing is not only hatred, even darpa. Darpa means it's pride and arrogance. These qualities also will come. When somebody is shouting at us and we know that they are in a very sorry condition, they are in a very poor condition, the other attitude that can come up in us is pride. Oh, look at that person. He's shouting like a madcap. And see where I am. He doesn't even know how great I am. So, this quality also can disturb the mind. So, when you do this Atma Namaste, we get into a position of love and compassion to heal that person, to quieten that person's mind, and in that process, we quieten our own mind also. So, in our personal life, we have finished 2 things. In our personal life, there are people who give us joy, and there are people who give us sorrow. To people who give us joy, we express with Maitri Bhava. Maitri means the attitude of friendliness. And for people who give us sorrow, we express with Karuna Bhava. Karuna means compassion. I am very compassionate towards a person for their suffering. And because of my compassion, my mind is quiet, and that person can also become my very best friend. When we show compassion towards others and they feel that we are showing compassion towards them, their enmity will cease. There will be no enmity between us. So, beings in the society, now we come to society. In society, by nature, we do not like to do punya karma. So, we know that when we do good actions, our state of mind will be good, we will receive good in life. And when we do evil actions, our state of mind is going to be disturbed. We know that very clearly, but we do not show any interest in doing good actions. It takes a lot of overcoming of a lot of limbic friction, because to do the nasty things is very easy. To speak badly, to hurt others, or to do the wrong actions, to be corrupt, or to To terrorize others, to fear others is very easy. But to do the right actions is not so easy. And so when somebody is doing the right action in society, for example, somebody is sweeping the road, Swachha Bharat Abhiyan, they're taking it up and they're keeping their street clean. Somebody is standing in traffic and showing hand, diverting the traffic in mufti, not in police uniform. Some general traffic person who is acting as a traffic warden is regulating the traffic on the road, or somebody is helping others. When we see somebody doing that, actually what happens in our mind is we feel a little jealous. Oh, I like to do it, but I am not doing it. I'm not able to do. Somebody is doing it and getting a good name. When somebody is doing punya karma or good actions in society, the response should be mudita, excellent. In our emojis we have this clapping hands. So that is what we should do. Excellent, great work, well done, keep it up. How great! I wish even I could be like you. I will join with you. You talk nicely to them, you praise them, and you say wonderful things about them. With that, your mind becomes very calm, and you will be able to focus on your work. Otherwise, if somebody is doing good actions and we try to put them down, or we try to pull them down just because we are very jealous, again the mind will be thrown into waves of thoughts and disturbances, and we will lose our calmness. So punya, whenever there is people are doing in the society, whenever good actions, even in WhatsApp forwards we get, somebody is singing so beautifully, somebody is doing some great acrobatics, somebody is working hard for the nation, somebody has got something very excellent, and all that is there, we get WhatsApp forwards. So instead of just, you don't even need to forward it to others, you can also forward it if you want to, but you can just congratulate that person, whoever has done that, or in your own mind you can feel very happy for that person for whatever they are doing, and just be happy for that great work. Then your mind enters into a happy state very easily, and a happy mind is a calm mind. And the fourth one, this is where we all go wrong, and this is where we can get very disturbed. Our mind can be very disturbed, and when the mind is disturbed, forget about concentrating on even subjects that we love. We cannot even concentrate on subjects that we love. We cannot concentrate on subjects that are very difficult also. We cannot concentrate in the class. We cannot concentrate on studying something very difficult. We cannot concentrate on writing our exams. Just imagine, before going for the exam, somebody is talking about corruption in the country, and immediately you break out into waves of agitation. I know why this country is like this, corrupt and all that. Or somebody talks about terrorism, or somebody talks about any topic that generates negative thoughts and vibes in us. Whatever actions in society that can generate negativity in our mind. So when we get involved in that, we become those thoughts, and we become part. We don't even solve the situation. We don't help the situation. We don't solve the situation. We only get agitated, and our mind is disturbed. And when we function from a disturbed mind, we cannot function well, and we will also do the wrong things. And sometimes we may even do the same actions that we criticize about others. So, what is the fourth response, or the second response to what happens in society? When somebody does apunya karma, apunya means actions that are not generating goodness in society, actions that are not integrating society, actions that are not creating harmony in society. It can be terrorism, it can be pollution, it can be global warming because of what people do, it can be creating havoc in society, it can be creating disturbance in society, it can be bribing and corruption, or it can be just people are polluting the waters or polluting the atmosphere. Now you may say, if I don't show any interest in that, then who is going to do the correction? Of course, in every department, there are government officials and there are government staff to do the corrections, whatever needed. There are media persons to point out that they are not doing their work properly. Then there are higher officials and higher ups in every department, in every area of life. where they have the responsibility. If you have the responsibility to do something, for example, if I feel very hurt about something, I can write a letters to the editor or get myself published through blogs saying that this is the problem, this problem has to be handled, and this is the solution. So that is a responsible action or a responsible response. But instead of that, if I'm criticizing and complaining, and I send WhatsApp forwards to everybody about this, and I disturb some more people about these thoughts, then my mind is disturbed and other people's minds are disturbed. So the response towards this fourth response only is something that may not be acceptable to all of us, but there is no other way. The fourth response is upeksha. Upeksha means ignore. Ignore means focus on what you want, focus on goodness, focus on your actions. If I feel something is not clean or something is very dirty, something is very messy, instead of complaining about why the mess is there, focus on what I can do. I can pick up a paper on the road and put it in the dustbin. That much I can do. That will generate the interesting, the good vibes in me, and that vibe can also inspire other people into good action. We also saw another frequently forwarded WhatsApp about, or it maybe it is an advertisement about how there's a big traffic jam, and everybody was going on complaining because a tree had fallen on the road. In the middle of the road in rainy season, the tree had fallen and there was a traffic jam. So everybody is honking and complaining, and one boy alone, he just got out of the car or whatever vehicle he was. Maybe I think he was on a cycle. He parked the cycle, and then in that wet rain he's trying to, he's a small boy, he cannot push the tree, he cannot move the tree, but that small boy began the little work of pushing the tree with all his effort and strength. Seeing that so many people left their cars and came out, the whole road was there pushing the tree, and they got the tree. The government came, everybody came, and the tree was removed by a JCP and put across the road, and the traffic got cleared. So that is what we need to do when something goes wrong. When something goes wrong, we may respond with the right action, but if we are not able to do any action, it is all right. It is perfectly all right. We just need to turn a blind eye. We just need to not talk about it, because talking about it will disturb the mind. And when my mind is disturbed, my studying or my focus on what I'm doing will be disturbed. My whole day will be disturbed just by the very fact that I take up the first WhatsApp information in the morning about some problem in society, and I get agitated and angry about it, and then I forward it to some people. I get disturbed myself, and that will disturb my mind. A disturbed mind can never produce any great piece of art, or it can never be successful in life. A disturbed mind. So when we cultivate these feelings of Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. What is Maitri? When I cultivate the feeling of Maitri, there is an effect to that. What is that effect? I will be surrounded by friends. Wherever I go, I will be surrounded by friendly people. How do you know this is true? You have to practice. There are so many people who practice it, and it has become true in their lives. If you want to see if it is true in your life, you have to practice it. When I have Maitri, Bhava, the feeling of friendliness, I will be surrounded by friends. When I have Karuna Bhava, when I have compassion for people who give me sorrow, whenever I am in sorrow, I will be surrounded by compassionate people. I will be surrounded by people who help me, people who wipe my tear, people who say, "Don't worry, it's okay. You will go past this." Otherwise, we will not be surrounded by compassionate people. We will be surrounded by people, if we don't show compassion, when we are in a difficult situation, we will meet with people who are very happy in our discomfort. We see so many examples in our life for all that. Say, very good, you did that day, so now you suffer, they will say. So we need compassion. We will be surrounded by compassionate people. When we express joy for people who are doing good work in society, then we will be surrounded by joyous people, and all our work will happen so beautifully because there is joy all around us. And when we turn a blind eye towards corruption or whatever is apunya, meaning whatever is not so good in society, society is a larger picture. When we talk of Maitri and Karuna, they are not suggesting Karuna Baba there, because Karuna Baba, you cannot, there, if a Ravana is creating trouble, it needs a Rama to destroy Ravana. We cannot do anything about people who are all, we do not have that strength and energy to handle and tackle bigger issues like corruption or global warming. We can only contribute our small bit. We cannot really take on the challenge. If we want to take on the challenge, well and good. That will become that person's life mission. That is a different story altogether. But we are talking about, on a day-to-day basis, indulging in thoughts about people who are not doing the right things in society. In society, everybody is bad. In society, there's so much of global warming is there. In society, there's so much of pollution. There is so much of corruption. There is so much of anger. There is so much of murders, so much of rapes. Whatever it is, we keep saying every day, we keep scolding them. It is not going to help us. So upeksha, when we turn a blind eye towards those faults, those things are not going to disturb us. Even if they happen around us, it will not disturb our own life. It will not disturb our peace of mind. So these are all the sutras. There are many sutras which are given how to calm the mind. And among the 7 sutras, this comes first. So because this is very important, because whether we do any practice or not, on a day-to-day basis, we are interacting with people who are known to us and people who are in general in society. So people who are known to us, when they are friendly and good to us, you express Maitri Bhava or friendliness. People who are doing sorrowful things to us, Karuna Bhava, and the way to express Karuna is to pray for their well-being and wish them all the very best in life, Karuna Bhava. Then people who do good actions in society, you express with joy, and people who do wrong actions in society, apunya karma, you express with upeksha. Upeksha means ignore that and focus on something that you really need to do and do it well. So commit to win and win you will. The theme of the series is going to be together we can, together we must, together we will. Participating in this can also pave the way for a very strong, committed society where we join together to do good work and change the destiny of the country. So these are all possible when we participate together. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेवा।